Believe Nation, how we doing? Happy Tuesday. Tuesday is my YouTube day, so making videos for you guys. I like having one day per week where all I have to focus on is YouTube. So Nina was running some errands in the morning. I joined her and made some YouTube videos in the car, came back, made some more YouTube videos this afternoon. After this is my break. After this, I'm gonna go for a quick walk with Nina and then more YouTube videos. And I think just having one day to be creative, to make content really helps. So I think if you think about all the time it takes to set up your camera and to get ready and to just get the right vibe and the mojo going, if you just took that time and just then went and made more videos, it'd be a lot more productive, right? I mean, for me to make my first video, I could then make 3, 4, or 5 videos in the same amount of time. So if you think, especially when I was getting started, maybe it took me an hour to make one video, but then I could make 5 more videos if I stayed for another hour because you're already in the zone and everything else. So I love creating my schedule around energy. I think that's how you stay productive. If you're switching energy states too much, you end up being unproductive. If you've ever gotten to the end of the week and you felt like you got very little done, but we're working like crazy, then there's something wrong with just you're losing too much energy between tasks. To go from making a video to then writing the book to then doing a live to then taking a call to then answering emails, it's too much task switching, and you end up not being productive at all. So I like having one day per week for different things. Tuesday is my YouTube day, and making some content. Some few surprises in store. Stay tuned. Do I have an announcement? No announcements yet. No announcements yet, but stay tuned. New stuff is coming soon. Welcome, everybody. So what do we got? To laugh, to love, to learn says #believe. I love it. Mother's Triumph says hi. I like it. Zen, the man in the house. Woohoo, let's go. Thank you for all you do and the value you give. Appreciate that. I am Mana. Yo, Evan from London says, Gareth, appreciate you. The mojo is real. I like it. I agree. Mel Abraham in the house. The affluent entrepreneur. If you don't know that man's show, go check it out. So good to see you, my friend. Go check out Mel Abraham. What's your IG? Mel Abraham 9. The number Mel MEL Abraham and then the number 9 at the end. Or his new podcast, The Affluent Entrepreneur. I believe are we doing something about that, Mel? I think we have something either scheduled or about to be scheduled. Anyway, looking forward to any time you spend with Mel is always going to be fantastic. We had him here on my IG a while ago, and looking forward to doing some more. So let's do some Q&A. We got Q&A. You got questions? Pop it down below. If somebody wants to come in live, we can make that happen as well. Hey from India. Definite growth. I hope you're doing well. I just want to ask about the future of digital marketing. It's strong. I mean, the future is, it's already here. Don't worry about the future. It's what is already happening. It's already happening. Learning digital marketing is definitely a skill set that will serve you, will help you. Thanks, my friend. Always fun. Much love, man. How are you? I'm feeling great. Things are good. Been a busy day. I can't believe it's already Tuesday. Feels like we're just getting started. Anyway, I finally read your book, but I have lots of questions. How can I reach you? Lots of questions. Connect with Zan Demand. If you read the book, I think Zan is here in the chat. Zan Demand is the Built to Serve coach. And if you have questions, anybody who buys the book gets a free session with him as well. So connect with Zan Demand. Wiggy. Connect with Zan Demand, and he can dive deep. I mean, you can ask some questions here live and we can do some things, but he can go deep with you to really get your questions in. Antoine wants to come in live. Update. Man, Antoine is one of the OGs. Okay. Zan says, please DM me. Okay, we're going to bring in Antoine and see what he's got. Antoine.
Hey.
I can't see you, man. What's going on?
Oh, my bad. Let me turn on the light in here. I'm sitting in the dark.
It looks scary. There we go.
Bad. Yeah, over here got the big TV and everything like that.
So, listen, Antoine is one of the OGs, man. When I first started doing IG Live, Antoine was always raising his hand, always coming in. You got the beard going. Look at that, dude.
Yeah, the beard grew a lot.
Is that the COVID beard? What's happening?
Yeah, the COVID beard. Like, I just let it grow, and then that's when I started lining it up more. So
that's
why it looks like this.
Looking good. Well, where are we at? What do you got? How can I help, man?
Actually, there's been a lot of things that happened. Well, one I want to tell you is that I took some advice that you gave me
Okay.
a long time ago. So first
Okay.
off, I'm gonna tell you you were right. Just to let you know,
Okay.
you were
Great.
right. Before we get into everything else, you were right. I give you that
Okay.
one. Second, I've just started my own creative agency because I pivoted from doing a production company
Yeah.
to being a creative agency where I'm taking on clients now and I'm trying to build the business up. I had to let go a lot of people who were working with me in the past because they weren't for the mission that we were trying to do. We just didn't align on
You
things.
were doing like you were cutting up videos and helping
Hmm.
people. Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay. Keep going.
Yeah. So we wasn't even doing that. It was more of just our own original content. We was making multiple brands and
Hmm.
I kind of just got burnt out. Um, and that's what happened. I ended up moving to Seattle, Washington. I don't even live in Baltimore because I know that was where the last time we talked, that's where I was. But I ended up moving to Seattle, Washington for a new job. And the job isn't really turning out to what I thought it was going to be.
New job,
Um,
like working with a client, or like a 9 to 5 kind of job while you're
a
doing your side hustle.
yeah, 9 to 5 kind of job while I
Got it.
was
Okay.
working on my side hustle.
Yep.
And the job it's not really turning out to what I would like it to be, but I am going into the path of trying to do, better work
Yep.
and trying to go down that path that, many, including yourself, told me to go down of you should be working with clients, you should be producing content for them, things like that.
Hmm.
So my question for you, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, I know you're a busy man. My question for you is, how do I separate the things going on in personal life from the stuff that I'm doing with my business so that I can stay focused? Because I have the tendency of when things are not going correctly in my personal life or when things are being disruptive in my personal life, it messes with my focus. So how do I fight through that?
Well, what like stuff from Baltimore is still kind of chasing to Seattle, or some new Seattle personal life stuff is popping up?
A little bit of both, like stuff that happened in Baltimore because I actually just recently graduated from college.
Hmm.
I went back to Baltimore for my college graduation, and I just came back here. But at the beginning of April, I had to have emergency surgery. I had to have two emergency surgeries actually, back to back on my stomach, because I was having digestive issues. So I've been on medical leave for the last month and a half
Hmm.
from work. So now it's just like all this stuff in personal life things that's going on in both Seattle and Baltimore. It just seems like I'm repeating the same patterns of stuff that I went through whenever I was in Baltimore and Seattle, and I thought Seattle was going to be a new, fresh start for me.
First off, how you feeling, dude? You feeling better?
Yeah,
You,
I'm feeling good now.
you getting there?
There was a moment in time where I couldn't walk for a little bit,
Okay.
where I had to literally not relearn to walk, but I was hobbling around everywhere. So that got better. But yeah, I'm feeling good now. I got off the plane, I wasn't feeling good. I thought I had an infection. It turns out some stuff happened, and I ended up back on medical leave because I went home and then I came back here.
Hmm. So listen, like you can't outrun your problems, and that's just not just you. That's
Hmm.
everybody. You got to deal with them. Moving to Seattle, if you're still the same person, you can
Hmm.
move again, and you're still the same person. The problems are going to keep chasing you down. Both from health, like whatever you need to do to fix your health, you got to start doing. Right? Like
Hmm.
that's you. You're choosing the lifestyle, whether it's the food you eat or the exercise or whatever is causing the thing. And maybe you're a little more sensitive than other people, and
Hmm.
you gotta work it. I don't want you to see you in your hospital, dude. I
Yeah.
don't want the next live to be, Evan, I'm in the hospital here. I have to make like we
Hmm.
need to see a healthy you, man. I mean, that's definitely part of. I think a lot of people going through this COVID issue have kind of let themselves go, and and awesome. But we're coming back,
Hmm.
and now it's time to get back on the horse, and you need to.
Coincidentally, I took up keto during COVID, and I
Okay,
went from 245 pounds to 214 pounds.
cool,
Like, it
man.
was a drastic drop. The surgery was more caused by like diabetes complications because I wasn't, like you said, I wasn't doing what I needed to do diabetes wise, and I wasn't taking care of myself there, and I was just letting stress like jump upon that, and it was just trying to go
Yeah,
straight through it.
those are just habits, man. Right? Like moving to Seattle is not gonna make you lose weight. You know,
Yeah.
like and moving to Dallas or wherever else, like it's just the habits. It's still the habits. You know, whether
Mhm.
it's stress causing too much or just eating the wrong foods or not moving around enough. Like those are, you know how to solve it. You know how to do
Yeah.
it. It's just now a matter of deciding to do it. Because when
Mhm.
you do that, you'll have more energy to then bring to your job and bring to your work as well. You just will. I mean, it doesn't mean that you stop. I mean, when I broke my neck, that was the worst thing that happened to me physically. I broke my neck and had a concussion. I was still making videos and still grinding it out and still like the next day I'm telling my doctor, hey, can we hold a seminar like in my hospital room? And they said, no, that's not happening. So, but I still finished my tour and still made videos, and I was much slower, right? I mean, I was in a crap ton of pain. I wasn't as good as I could have been, but I did the best I could because I was struggling a lot. So it doesn't mean that you stop chasing down your ambitions and your dreams, but if you're unhealthy, it's going to be a lot harder.
Yeah.
So for the the physical stuff, you gotta fix your habits. And it sounds like you've already started that process, whether it's keto or something else, but
Mhm.
you got to create a schedule that actually works for you, where you're not, you're not in the hospital again. Because, dude, you're way too young to be having these kind of things happen, right?
Yeah.
Um, Mel Abraham was in the chat room. He's still here, but he's still here. Um, you know, when I met him in Puerto Rico, he was going through his own health issues, and wasn't drinking. It was like part of it is like, yeah, I'm not going to drink anymore. So we went to dinner, and everybody's drinking, and I was his water buddy. Like, okay, I won't drink either, man. You and me, let's have water tonight. We're water buddies tonight, Mel. You and me, let's go. So that kind of thing. Like, it's surrounding yourself with the people who also, if you're around people who are smashing Doritos all day long, that's going to be hard as well to stay consistent. So having a healthy habit, scheduling it in, you already know how to do it, but now it's actually making a priority, right? Like, what you can get by, you can,
Mhm.
when you're younger, you can kind of get by on things, but not that
Nah.
you're old, but like it starts, you're not 17 anymore, you
No,
can't
I'm
just,
actually 27 now. So yeah.
well, wait till you're 37, because that stuff will
Mhm.
catch up real
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
So it's like, now's a good time, because no, but serious, like, if that's happening to you at 47, maybe you don't come out of the hospital, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that starts to get real. Like, you can recover a lot faster. So starting to build those habits. For the other things that maybe are chasing you from Baltimore, people and drama and all that stuff, it's just setting up boundaries for your time, what you will allow into your life and what you won't. And when you fix those, then it's a lot easier to go work on your work. It's a lot easier to show up with energy for your job. It's a lot easier to show up with energy for your business. Um, for me, as long as you still got, I may be crazy on this stuff, but I still move forward every day on my goals, even if I'm on the floor, even if I'm in a hospital. Like, one little step, one little
Yeah.
baby step. It's not what I could do when I'm fully healthy and ready to go, but I don't let a day go by that I'm not doing something, some kind of momentum, because
Yeah.
those little steps all add up. Where if you stop and then the next day you stop again, and then you look back and it's been 3 months since you did anything, it's just so hard to get the momentum back up. So, I mean, now that you maybe not fully out of the woods health wise, but you're getting there, start putting a little energy into both the job and the business. I think the job's important because it's just teach yourself that when you say you're going to do something, you show up. Like
Yeah.
Antoine's going to show up. You show up for your job. Just because you're there, because you said you were going to do it, you're going to do it. It doesn't mean you give every waking second to it, but if you're going to do anything, you do it well. It doesn't mean you stop looking. Like, you can still go look for another job, still go look for clients,
Mhm.
everything else. but dedicating time every day to focus on building your career and your business while taking care of the health, like it's all doable. It can feel overwhelming, but it's all doable. And dude, you've been through worse.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I know your story. We've chatted a bunch of times. You've been through
Yeah.
worse than this. This is not the hardest thing you've been through, dude. You can handle this. But now it's just a matter of doing it, right?
Mhm.
Scheduling the healthy habits. It's hard to, like, some of these things, it's hard to get immediate momentum on.
Yeah.
But you look back of 2 weeks of healthy habits, like you're already doing it with your keto diet. You look back and, holy cow, like I lost 30
Mhm.
pounds or whatever it is, right? Just
Yeah.
staying consistent on the schedule, even though it's kind of boring to stay consistent on the schedule.
Yeah, and that was one of my biggest issues. So now I do things like meal prep. If I eat any type of like I would say crappy food, it would be on the weekends, and I would try to limit the amount that I eat, and I don't drink as much as I used to when I was a lot younger, when I was in college. And it's more because I'm just trying to get my life back to where it was and just getting everything back onto the same schedule. One thing that I would ask you, and I think this is a question that a lot of people that's on your page would ask as well. Also, shout out to Your One Word, because I have both Your One Word and Build to Serve. I actually just made a post about Your One Word, by the way, which is, I did a little review of it.
Cool, man.
Thank you. And it's the whole imposter syndrome thing. Just when you're trying to build your business, just like something that I'm trying to do at a creative agency, a lot of people think to themselves, am I built to do this, even though I've been doing, like you said, my story, some of the stuff that I've done. I have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of content creation experience. I had the mind for it. Me and you were on my first interview that I did um, 2 years ago. You took a chance on me, which means the world to me, by the way, because you didn't even know me from Adam, and you was like, "Yeah, I'll jump on. Let's do it." Um, so how do you just break through that whole imposter syndrome like mindset in general? How do you break through that?
So a couple things. Like, is it in content creation, like you're sharing a message, or in terms of making videos for other people, like client work?
Well, client work, making videos for other people, because now I started making more videos on my own. I'm getting more into, like, I've even started a new podcast that's going to be coming out pretty soon called That Young Entrepreneur, where I interview different entrepreneurs to help, like, millennials and Gen Zers who want to build their own businesses. What
Okay.
I do is I talk to different people who have expertise in, like, the business realm, the creative realm, on things that the younger people should know,
Okay.
like
And so
things that they should have taught us.
but that's not client work, right? You're not trying to
No,
get, that's just getting the message out. So
yeah,
you have imposter syndrome around the podcast?
not around the podcast, but more about the client work is where the imposter syndrome is because for the amount that I want to charge, that, like, for instance, you remember the time that I had the barber as
Mm-hmm.
my client,
Yeah.
and
You weren't
I
you weren't
told him,
making enough. I remember, dude.
yeah,
You got to
yeah,
charge
see?
more. I know, dude. It's like, you're doing all that for that little? Come on now.
Yeah, see, hold on, you doing all this for that little? Well, what's going on, man?
You
Like,
did
I
a
remember
lot of
that.
work, dude. That was a lot of work.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And I was, and I think I just did it because I was like, you know what? Let me just get them to agree to this, and then later on I can negotiate more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but now after seeing that, and now I'm currently working with a business consultant and partner, Tiana Burst. She's really good at what she does, and she's helping me break through a lot of this stuff. Um, for the amount that I should be charging for my services, at times I don't feel confident enough approaching, a company saying that, hey, I want to help you out here. What is your pain points? Things like that.
Yeah. So listen, first off, it's actually finding ideal clients.
Okay.
I think the challenge with a barber is that they probably don't have a big enough budget to
Mm-hmm.
support you anyway. Even if you're making work that's worth X to somebody else, it's not worth that to him because he's not making enough money to be able to bring you on.
Yeah.
So, I love the idea of free trials or getting started just to get in and show what you can do. but it's got to be with an ideal client. Like if you're doing free work for somebody who is not an ideal client, who's never going to be able to afford you, you might be able to take a couple people who you see. I mean, your strength and weakness is that you see the potential in people. You know, like you see this guy and you know what he could become, and you want to help him kind of get there, right? Which is great. I love it, dude. That's belief. Like, it's fantastic. The challenge is most people, they have to show up to to do their side of things. And it takes too long for people to get to that path for them to be able to afford paying you what you're worth. So you can pick a couple of those people, but if that's your whole business, that makes it hard for you to support yourself. You're basically having to still have some kind of job because you're taking all these bets on people and hope that one of them pays off, right? Yeah. So I would see that almost as charity work, where you're taking a couple people, or maybe just one person right now, and then you have to go after ideal clients who will actually pay you. So it's finding the people who are potential ideal clients for you. Like, how much do you want to be charging a month?
A month for like just content creation should be at least $3,000 starting off. Per month.
And what are you doing for the 3K? What does somebody get for 3K?
So for the 3K, what we do is we're going to be making 4 videos per month for them. And what we're going to do is have the distribution for them. So basically just like chopping up the videos into micro content for them, coming up with post templates, and also doing social media management for them, as posting it onto their platforms as well.
So how many? So 4 YouTube videos?
Yeah, 4 YouTube videos.
And then how much micro content does that turn into?
Depending upon the script that we're going to be using, because I did design a script from like other stuff that I've done in the past, it should have at least 5 to 7 pieces of micro content per video.
Great. So 4 videos YouTube then gets 20 plus micro pieces of content, and you're going to post it everywhere to all their accounts.
Yes.
So great. So now you either need to find the person who's already started, and they need help to get to the next level.
Okay.
Or the person who really wants to get in and has a budget to work with. And what I would look for, I think this is really important, look for people who their main business is not social media.
Okay.
If I look at the people who, I look at Jeremy and I look at Drew, these are people who I've invested in to do YouTube strategy. Jeremy went from maybe just 2 years ago now, went from being a stock boy at a grocery store, earning minimum wage. And I taught him YouTube and showed him how to do it. And I still, mentor him every week. And he's now mid 5 figures a month from being minimum wage, 2 years ago. And he burned his apron that he used to have to wear every day. And, he had this really emotional moment where he realized, man, I make more in a month than I did my entire year working at the grocery store. It's not that far off. I mean, he's not actually editing the videos, but he's providing strategy and doing thumbnail split tests and helping fix somebody's YouTube strategy. But the people,
A/B testing and stuff
like the people to go after though are not the ones who are like the best people already have a business. They have a business, and now they're trying to move towards making content that supports their business, where their business is not just being an influencer. Because if their business is just being an influencer, they're probably, unless they're at a big scale and you're the best of the best, they're not making enough to support themselves, let alone you.
Yeah.
And so it's always going to be this really cash, like, ooh, 3K, okay. Okay, how quickly do we make money on this, Antoine? And it's just constantly coming down the budget because they don't have, that 3K is going to sink them, right? So if they don't make that back in 2 months, you're gone. So it's not an ideal client for you. People who have a budget, people who already have a business besides social media, those are the people that you want to take on. And easiest place to start is probably in Seattle because you're there. But also just any online connections that you're making, that you have, that people, have some kind of connection to you, or connection through a connection, those are the people you want to go after. And if you're doing free work for a month to prove yourself, or free 2 videos to prove yourself, build rapport, awesome. But you got to really hone in on, this guy needs to be an ideal client for me. That $3,000 a month is not, gonna choke them. And I get it. Like, for most people, that's a crazy number. Like, for the average entrepreneur, they're not even making $3,000 a month, so they're not going to spend that on you.
No, you need somebody that has an established business that's already bringing in revenue. And afford marketing services.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at an annual deal, so not just $3,000 a month, but we're looking at a 12-month contract.
Yeah, so it can be sustainable
for everybody.
Yeah,
because you just making 4 videos in a month and posting 20 times on social, and then stopping, that's not going to help the brand that you're trying to work with.
Mm-hmm. And that's not going to prove anything either. It might prove, you might see something, but it's not really going to prove that what you're doing is working.
So if you're looking at, what is that, $42K a year for a client? If that is completely unreasonable, like if they have nobody on their team and it's so out of the box, so big, then it's just not somebody who you want to be spending a lot of time with, especially now, for your business, because you need to start getting paid so that you can quit your job and turn this into a full-time thing and then hire a team.
Okay.
So I think that's been the biggest problem, is that you're targeting people who don't value enough what you're doing, and they're constantly on you saying, I don't know, I mean, it's so much. It's like, so much, I'm only charging you, what were you charging a barber guy again? Like $500 a month or something?
It was like $990 a month, and he came
it wasn't even $1,000 for all the crazy work you're doing.
No, and he came back to me saying that some guy that he met down the street could pay like $500 for like what I was like trying to do, or something along those lines. Yeah.
So listen, dude, this is what feeds into the imposter syndrome too of working with clients, is because the message you're getting back from your clients every day is, you're too expensive. This isn't working. You're not worth this. And you're trying to fight, I'm not worth this. I'm only charging $900, man. I want to be in the 3K range.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of working with better clients, people who value this. So in some people that, that Drew and Jeremy are pitching, Jeremy's working, every client is now $5,000 a month. And for a lot of people, that's way, way, way too high. And when you say, hey, I'm at $5,000 a month, like, okay, do you have like a discount package, or do you have like a start, like, because it's worth it and more, right, to the right people. And so it's finding those right people. And when you're working with those right people, they elevate you, right? So, like when I hang around Mel, I don't know if Mel's still here, but when I hang around with Mel and the group, like, they elevate me. It's like, man, yeah, I got to be thinking up here. And so your clients will help elevate you. So you have to find those people. You got to find the people where 3K, it's not zero, it's not nothing, but it's not going to destroy their life if they work with you for 3 months and they're not seeing like an immediate return on sales in their business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that was one of my, like, because with what I'm trying to do, and you're trying to get the message out, then you're also trying to work with clients. I think the 2 biggest problems that I ran into was, one, like finding the clients, and then 2, on the message part, is finding the right people to interview. Because in the past, I made the mistake of just saying, hey, can I interview you? Like, not really comprehending the, I want to say, the value they would have to the audience that I'm going after.
Just start looking for local businesses in Seattle who are doing things on social, but they're not doing a very good job of it. Like they're kind of started and stopping. There's no real thought behind the brand, and they're just kind of throwing stuff. There's lots of those guys who are just throwing stuff up, and you can come in and make it a lot more professional, strategy, consistent, and they have a real business. Don't go after any of the people who are trying to be influencers.
Okay.
And take care of your health, dude. That's important.
Oh,
Habits, dude. Swear, like the next time I see you, I want to see smiles and healthy and everything. You know, not hospital bed, more surgeries. I'm serious.
I'm not even gonna send you a selfie from a hospital bed or nothing like that.
Good.
I won't. I got
Cool.
you.
All right. Much love, man. Have a great week. Thanks for popping in.
You too.
Okay. Take care.
Take care.